Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Overtime. I'm Ben McMillen. Later we'll be joined by Sports Director Jack Berney. The men's basketball team has been prepping for the MAC championships. Let's take a look at how they've been doing. After a long pandemic-ridden year, the Golden Flash men's basketball team is nearly at the peak of their season. College basketball fans far and wide have had the month of March circled on their calendar, looking forward to all that comes with March Madness. All of the madness that comes with this month holds no exception to the MAC, as we're now under 2 weeks away from the MAC championship tournament. The Kent State men's basketball team started the month of February on a low note, dropping a rivalry game to Akron, but bounced back in great fashion, ripping off 4 straight wins against Bowling Green, Northern Illinois, Western Michigan, and even Eastern Michigan. Earlier this week, the Flashes had a down game and lost to the Ball State Cardinals, but still find themselves in 3rd place in the MAC with an 11-5 record. Throughout the season, teams have figured out ways to slow down the offensive powerhouse that is Danny Pippen, but Kent State has been showing improvements each and every game for spreading the ball out and getting different role players involved. This ability to score from different points of attack on offense by spreading the ball around isn't possible without Giovanni Santiago at the helm. He seems to have a handful of flashy highlight reel passes each and every time they take the court. The Golden Flashes look to rebound from a loss in a Saturday afternoon matchup with the Miami Redhawks, who sit in 7th in the MAC, but have won 3 straight and sit only 2.5 games behind the Golden Flashes. For the Flashes to come home with a win, they need to slow down the guard pairing of Day Grant and Mikai Larry and capitalize on Kent's ability to move the ball around. After today's matchup, the Golden Flashes have a home game with the Ohio Bobcats, followed by a trip to Buffalo for a regular season finale against the Bulls. Now believe me when I say that the men's basketball team isn't the only one on Kent's campus hoping to make some noise in the MAC championships. Let's take a look at how the women's basketball team's been doing.
Let's take things to the MAC Center Wednesday night. It was a rematch of the MAC tournament quarterfinal last season. Picking things up in the first quarter, Katie Shoemate hits the jump shot. She had 17 points on the night for Kent State. Next possession, Claire Kelly lobs it down to Nyla Blackford in the post, who kicks it out to Lindsay Thal, who hits the 3. Thal moved into 2nd all-time on Kent State women's basketball 3-pointers list. But here comes Buffalo. Deasia Fair with the steal and goes coast to coast and lays it up and in. Very next possession, Deasia Fair going to work. Her shot gets blocked by Shoemate, but Fair recovers and puts it in. She had 23 points on the night for Buffalo. But here comes Kent State in the second half. Lindsay Thal in the post. Flashy pass to Nyla Blackford, who lays it up and in. And then Blackford inside out dribble and muscles it in. Blackford had 18 points and 9 rebounds for the game. Later in the second half, Katie Shoemate is going to spot up and hit the 3 there for Kent State. But here comes Buffalo and Deasia Fair. Crossover, steps up and hits the floater to give Buffalo the lead. But Kent State would not go away. Claire Kelly step back 3. This would cut Buffalo's lead to 2 with 8 minutes left. But here comes Buffalo. Not Deasia Fair this time. Cheyenne McEvans with the step back, and she puts home the jumper. But here comes Kent State. They're up 1 at this point. Claire Kelly with the nice move inside and converts the layup. Kent State holds on to win 65-62. Taking a look at the MAC women's basketball standings, you see Bowling Green at the top of the conference there, and then followed by Ohio, Central Michigan, and Ball State. Kent State just lost to Miami on a Peyton Scott buzzer beater for the Redhawks, so Kent State went from 2nd in the conference after the win against Buffalo all the way down to 5th in the conference, right above Buffalo and Northern Illinois. So if the MAC tournament were to start today, Kent State would face Ball State, a team in which they did beat earlier this season, 70-61.
Now the basketball seasons might be coming to an end in the month of March, but some sports are just getting their season kicked off. Let's take a look around Kent State athletics to see what else is going on.
And taking a look at some of the standout games from Kent State football's 2021 schedule, you look at their non-conference schedule. 2 of those games at Texas A&M on September 4th and at Iowa September 18th are against 2 teams that finished in the final AP Top 25 poll in the top 25. Texas A&M finished number 5 and Iowa finished number 16. From there, Kent State has 3 critical MAC East games that could decide if Kent State does make an appearance in the MAC championship, which is scheduled for December 4th. 4th. Those 3 games are October 9th versus Buffalo, October 23rd at Ohio, and in the regular season finale, November 27th versus Miami. And of course, the wagon wheel game is set for November 20th at Akron as Kent State looks to bring home the wagon wheel for the 3rd straight season.
The Kent State volleyball team looked to recover from a first match loss to Bowling Green in a Friday evening showdown. Bowling Green entered the game a perfect 10-0 in first place in the MAC East, while Kent State entered the game 8-2, sitting in second place. Bowling Green came out of the gates hot, landing numerous kills from the left side of the net from sophomore Katrine Trebushovska. The Golden Flashes bounced back in strong fashion in the following sets, with sophomore Taylor Heberly leading the charge offensively and junior libero Aaron Gardner holding things down defensively. Kent State won both the second and third sets by a score of 25-23, while Bowling Green fought back to win the fourth set, forcing a fifth and final. At the end of the fourth set, Kent State libero Aaron Gardner suffered a knee injury, and the team opted to replace the position with freshman Bryn Roberts. Bowling Green started the final set on a 7-1 run, but the Flashes weren't going away easy, as they fought back, making it neck and neck down the stretch until ultimately dropping the final set 15-12. Kent State came away with a loss, but saw how close they were to dethroning the MAC East leading Falcons. Looking to the future, the Flashes still sit in second place in the MAC East and take on Miami, followed by Ball State in their next 2 matches. In other Kent State athletics news, we have the baseball team playing in their second weekend series of the year against Tennessee Tech. The Flashes hope to finish off a winning weekend prior to traveling to West Virginia for a battle with the Mountaineers beginning on March 5th. Keeping things on the diamond, the Kent State softball team has been preparing for their journey to Alabama for the Easton T-Town Showdown. The softball team will start their weekend with a doubleheader against Alabama, followed by matchups with South Alabama and North Alabama. Taking things from the baseball diamond to the turf, Kent State lacrosse team looks to bounce back from their opening matchup with Fresno State with a big win over Big East powerhouse Marquette. In the team's 3rd season at Kent and 1st season in the MAC, knocking down a top-tier team like Marquette would be huge for morale and player advancement for the Kent State lacrosse team. The Golden Flashes gymnastics team is also in action this weekend in an away matchup with the Northern Illinois Huskies. Senior Jade Brown of the gymnastics team was recognized as the MAC Specialist of the Week after her performances against Western and Central Michigan. The Kent State track and field team embarked on day 1 of the MAC championships yesterday, which was highlighted by freshman Leah Pasqualetti winning the pole vault title with a height of 13 feet and 7 3/4 inches. The Golden Flashes look to add to their momentum as the MAC championship meet resumes throughout the weekend. Now I know what you're thinking. Come on, Ben, that's it for this episode of Overtime? Well, I have some good news for you. Come back next week for even more action-packed Kent State athletics coverage. From Ben McMillen, I'll see you next week.